Stopped just off the highway on the entrance to Jayman Auto Wrecking, and they're our local wrecker that lets us walk around and pick parts, and we are gonna be getting some parts for the little Corvair today. Yippee! Down there. This is our local wrecking yard that allows you to walk around and pick parts. So I have measurements of the console parts that I'm going to be looking for, and I am just going to enjoy walking down rows. Most likely car stuff. So it looks like everything up front here is trucks. So we'll go looking for cars, and I see them already. I just love the wrecking yard. It's a sickness. I'm sure a bunch of you can relate to it. Man, it ain't so long ago I remember this truck driving around town. See what the little Ford has for us here. Ugly. So hopefully you enjoy the wrecking yards as much as I do. That's a little Ford. What do we got in here? Oh, all the goodies are picked on that. So we need some cup holder tray stuff, potentially a whole console. So, Pontiac. Part of the console. I'm gonna have to take a look at this. Okay. So it looks like someone really hashed all of the stuff I found, but I'm not sure what they were doing, but that kind of throws a pickle into that one. Okay. That pocket would be. I wish there was a cover for that, but there's not. So, and this isn't removable. I wonder if we can take this lid. I'm gonna do some edges here. This might actually. No, that's so ugly. I'm not saying ugly as in ugly for the itself. It is ugly for what we're going into. So the console lid would be the perfect width. Too bad I could possibly cut some of this out of here if I took the console. And yeah, this is a possible. Okay. My wife's a great editor, so hopefully she gets rid of all the swinging camera garbage stuff. If not, you're gonna have to enjoy it. Oh, it's pretty trash. And man, people just wreck stuff. You ever heard of tools, or is that a pry bar for you? Looks like they're just searching for money here. I can't figure out why someone would just dastardly rip, like just broke the center. What's the deal with it? The stereo's worth money? Okay, now this insert potentially could be quite useful. So this is an Impala. So too bad the front is missing. Hopefully there's another Impala in here, because I really like that concept. think that's quite nice. I'm just going to do a quick measuring on it. There's a computer for you. So the console is right at the edge of the width. It's too bad. Let's not look the potential. I guess it still is. Okay, I'm going to snoop around. I have found a little Chevy Cruze, and I'm just going to experiment here. But it looks like this is not part of the, which I wish was part of the insert here, but I'm going to pull this insert out and see, because I can potentially build a steel console that this insert would work beautifully in. And then we just need to find some other parts inside the console that I build, so cup holders and stuff. So anyway, it's looking good here, and I don't know what size these are. I'm guessing 7 is what I guessed, and 7 is what I got. And there's a junk in there. Okay, how am I gonna get that out of there? Way down in there. Look at that. They provided me with a little broken piece of plastic on the seat, and that was glass. And let's see what we got here. And look in there, there's a USB charge port. Okay, there's more glass in there. Okay, how am I gonna get that up there? Hey, there's some OxiClean in there. I think someone was living in this car, which is sad. It's almost what it looks like. Will that come out? Would that ever be nice if that was simple as that? I don't want to dig through this stuff, but I guess I'm going to dig through this stuff. So it has a piece in the bottom here. I'm sorry, I'm going to dig this out. And it looks like the hinge is a nice mechanism in there that we can use. So this USB looks like it's a special plug that goes to USB, which is going to kind of suck, but what I can do is potentially modify this to work with this. So sadness, but we're going to give it a go. Never wired up a USB piece before, but how hard can it be? Never cut a USB cord. And it's just going to probably be a charge port, although you never know, right? Yeah, definitely USB. Hopefully we can make those cords work in those plugs, because it appears there's a light in there, which might be wrecked. We'll take a look, and a bunch of garbage I'm gonna leave here. So the seat itself, or the lid itself, will need a different socket. It looks like 8. I'll take that out, and then we might have ourselves a deal here. Isn't that wonderful? I think I left my tape measure somewhere. If anyone can see my tape measure, right here. I measured it in the beginning. So this tape measure, we're good clearance-wise here. Now, the middle bolt to the front edge of where the latch is 6 3/4 minus a little bit, because it's on a slope. And then the height of the latch, from where the top of that is to the one spot, hard to get a good measure off, but it is about 7/16 from the mounting base where that lid goes to the top. We can see roughly is 1.5 inches. So I can safely pull this out. It looks like this is going to be recoverable with the factory stuff that I got coming for the interior of the car. That's going to be awesome. I'm excited. It is so sweet. Using junk to make nice, beautiful stuff. Junk to make junk. I don't have to reinvent all this stuff. That's pretty sweet. There we go. I think that's a pretty cool little find. It's gonna be a neat little Corvair armrest. And it's got black on it. I think that's gonna work out well. Why don't I just throw the bolts on the ground, which looks like what's gonna happen. They're just gonna fall out of there. So the ones that are below. Anyway, search continues. I found this little 08 Pontiac here with a little cup holder in that I actually quite like. It's got different inserts for different size cups. So it's a Pontiac G5. I found 01 Nissan Altima. These cars, these little coupes, they were really nice. Back in the day, I used to work at Nissan, so anyway, whatever. I was a little scared of getting in this car because of all the white powder I am finding everywhere, but I don't think it's anything to be too concerned about. Now, these had a cubby in here, which I'm glad this has in. I moved the shifter back, tore out sub control box, sub control, sorry. Try and think and talk in the same time. Well, sometimes that's a little difficult for the older folks. Me older, not anybody else. And this does have a cigar lighter in it, so I actually think this is going to be golden. Oh, there's a few rolled items down there. We'll leave those sit down there. If I die today because of an OD on something, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna keep that harness. And yeah, I can make that cubby into something really sweet. Touch it and it opens. So hopefully that'll handle the weight of covering that with some nice material. And it will be a neat little piece. My favorite 78 Ram Charger. So my wife and I had one of those early in our marriage. We just absolutely loved that. It was hard on gas, but it was a great truck. So unfortunately, so far, I've pretty much checked out the whole yard, and little Morris, 67 GMC, some dent side, bump side stuff, lots of cool stuff in the wrecking yard. So yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't always yield what you need, so I'm gonna have to build some extra parts, which is what it is. But I do definitely have to say, when we were young, what we would do is when we needed something, Dad would take us to either the dump or the wrecking yard to get parts. And I mean, he did buy new stuff. We were pretty poor, and salvaging stuff was part of the life, and that's why I get to do what I do today, is because I learned how stuff went together. Anyways, yeah, that is the day in the wrecking yard, and unfortunately it's not like I can go to other ones to do this in Canada and around here. It's pretty rare that you get let in to be able to do this. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.